Good morning, everybody. It is 11 o'clock, and welcome to RWT Connect walkthrough with Kristen Fredericks. Today is Friday the 13th, 2023. We just had a major revamp to RWT Connect, so we're glad that you all are joining us. If you're watching this in the future, we may have had another one, but we'll get another video to update those updates. So again, if you're watching in the future, please be aware that some of the information may have slightly changed. All right, if you do have questions, feel free to raise your virtual hand, type it in the chat, and we will get to them as quickly as Kristen takes a breath to answer them. True?
I will slow down.
Just take a breath every now and again.
I do.
Yeah, I know, and that's when I asked the question.
Are you? Do we not have any musicians in here? I mean, my training is like circular breathing. It's fine.
You're very good. All right, Kristen, all yours.
All right, thanks, Tim. All right, let me go ahead and shut my camera off here, and that way we have a nice clean recording, and we'll go through RWT Connect. All right, so we have had lots and lots of changes to rwtconnect.com. As Tim said, we are going to just take a quick walk through today. Really, this is just an overview of where things are and where you can find things. Now that we've made some of these changes, we're not going to go into really specific tools this time. We do that in some of our other breakthrough classes, but we wanted to make sure that you kind of had a roadmap as to where everything was in RWT Connect. And as we add additional things, you should be able to find things a little bit easier in here if we just do kind of a quick walkthrough. So I'm going to start on the homepage right here. This is the first page you see when you log into rwtconnect.com. If you've never logged into rwtconnect.com, just go to rwtconnect.com and you'll have your username and password there. If you need that reset or you're not sure what it is, just go ahead and email us at websupport@rwtown.com. We'll be happy to help get you into the system and help kind of navigate through there. So we're on my dashboard for right now, and this is the first thing that you're going to see when you log in. We have lots of things going on here. This is really a productivity dashboard for you and our kind of gateway to all things BHHS and BHHS RW Town. We have lots of different connections, lots of different resources on here. I'm going to go through a few things, and I'll point a few things out if there's any changes that you may not have based on some of your settings in the system. I'm logged into my training account today, so I don't have a full system of things like listings and stuff like that, but we're just going to point out where they are. And for those of you who have listings, you can certainly go into the listing manager and take a look at some of that. All right, let's start with this leaderboard dashboard right here. This is the first thing that you'll see when you log in, and it's going to kind of give you an overview of what's going on in the system. We want to see these numbers go up and we want to see these numbers go down. We certainly want to see new leads, new contacts, and recently active going up. Those are all based on things in your website and in your different contact managers. We want to see total number of contacts go up. People who have Market Watch emails. Market Watch is our product that sends out monthly trends on a particular market. Number of CRM emails that are going out, and that can be anything. That can be something like a drip campaign. It can be something like a property watch notification coming from your website. Contacts without Market Watch, that's just giving you an idea of somebody who may not be receiving anything in the system. Well, you don't necessarily need to send them Market Watch. It's just going to give you an idea of that person's not being directly contacted by you for whatever reason, and it might be a good opportunity to just sign them up for something. Number of listing views, so those are views on your listing, and that's going to go through our whole system on listing views. If you missed the seller reports session that we just had prior to this, we go into those listing views and what those mean throughout our whole system on there. So take a look at that when it gets updated and uploaded into our system when you have an opportunity. The number of unique visits on your website, and then of course total number of listings. So the total number of listings is a little interesting thing here. If you belong to more than one MLS and your listings are in more than one MLS, this number might be doubled or even tripled for some of our agents. So if you have a total of 3 listings and those listings happen to be in, let's just say, Brain and Williamsburg and North Carolina, you'll see a total of 9 because there's 3 different instances for each MLS. That pipeline at the end includes all sorts of fun things. The total pipeline includes your clients that are nurturing. That includes information that's coming from the transactions in each client manager. It can also include things like your property watch notifications. So based on the saved search that a particular client has, it's going to kind of calculate how much they might be worth in the system based on that price range that you have going out. All sorts of different factors go in here. Just so you know, anytime you see one of these little cogs, I know it's really hard to see and it's really tiny on the screen, but if you see it, we have a tiny little gear down here in the lower right-hand corner. That means you can flip something around and you can change whatever information is in there so that you can set it to your, obviously your own settings and set your own rate on here as well. So that's our leaderboard. Just remember that if you don't have a site builder website, that some of this stuff may not go up and down for you because we do need a place to be able to send people. Obviously, our unique visits and things like that are based on your website views. So some of that leaderboard may not pertain to you if you don't have a site builder website. As we continue to scroll down on this homepage here, one of the things I don't want you to miss, we'd love it if our vendor made this even brighter and bigger and bolder and gave it a starburst and all sorts of things on it. But we do have a search bar right here, right at the top of resources and news. And you can enter anything in here. So if you're looking for something in particular, you're looking for a topic, you're looking for a link to something, you know that we've mentioned something is on RWT Connect, you're just not sure where to find it. We do tag everything in RWT Connect by titles, descriptions, and keywords. We try to make sure that we get as many as we can to try to make it easy for you to find things, but you can use this search bar. So for example, if you need help on buy side and you want to know where the buy side button is, or you're not sure how to maybe send a coming soon and you want some more information on that, if you just put in the word buy side into that search bar, give it a second, and it will bring up all the topics related to buy side that are in our system. So you can see here, it's going to give you the quick link. So here's the link to buy side, some buy side how-tos, any company training videos that we've done on buy side, a buy side webinar that was actually given by buy side, some old marketing minutes on buy side. Those were prior to our merger, and those are kind of little short topics of things. We're going to be updating those in the future. So it kind of gives you an idea of what's available. You can type all sorts of keywords and descriptions in here. So if you're looking for something on RWT Connect and you're not sure where to find it, that search bar is going to be a great place for you to search. Let me go ahead and just get back to my dashboard here real quick. All right, as we continue to scroll down, we really have two sections below this. On this left-hand side here, we have some main buttons and main categories. These are going to be things that pertain to the things that they're categorized as. Our RWT library is kind of an all-inclusive, just kind of a clearinghouse of what's under all of these other buttons that are right here. So we have things like working with buyers, working with sellers, quick links. These are links that might not be on our homepage. They might be to other things that we might not use as often. Section for marketing, section for coaching and training, information on referral, information on relocation, and of course, maybe some information on luxury collection as well. You may, depending on your office, also have an additional button over here on the left-hand side that is for your office specifically. If your office has requested to have a folder for very specific documents that go with your office. So things that are not for the company as a whole. It might be something very, very specific, maybe like a holiday party schedule, for example, for your own particular office. So you may have that additional button on that left-hand side. You can click into any of these and it's going to go ahead and bring you to those topics. Notice that it opened up here on my right-hand side. I do want to take a minute to let you know that RWT Connect is tablet and mobile responsive. So for those of you who may be following along and maybe using your phone instead of a desktop or a laptop today, just know that when you click on something like this, that'll open up below those main buttons instead of to the right. So while we're looking at this on desktop today, just know that it does open. It just opens below those main buttons instead. So here for working with buyers, we have things like the buyer's guide, an explanation of our client dashboard and what people can expect when they get a client dashboard on your website. Home buyer checklist, mortgage process, some things like this. We add to these libraries all the time, especially as we get requests for different pages, and we are certainly adding to these libraries as we continue to merge all of our best products from both companies into sheets and pages and information that'll be great for you guys for your home selling and home buying presentations and things like that. Same thing with working with sellers, kind of gives you some basic information here. Marketing is going to show you all sorts of different marketing pieces here. I would like you to note the new edition of the monthly market and absorption reports. This is coming. We are working on it now. This is something new that is coming to RWT Connect. You'll get an email about this. One of the things that we absolutely loved with Rose and Womble are the great monthly market and absorption reports. We know everybody's been anxious to get those back up and running again to be able to share with their clients, and they are coming. We have all sorts of information on here as well. We have ideas, marketing minutes, how-tos. We also have links to be able to make a marketing order in here as well. So order marketing materials. And again, just more resources on here as well. Coaching and training is going to contain things like information on some of our designation and certification training, but we mostly use it for the training YouTube channel and the company training videos. So all of these training classes that we give are recorded and they are available here. And again, I'm not going to go into all of this, but here we have information on the referral company, on relocation, and of course, some luxury collection. Remember I said that RWT library was kind of a clearinghouse for everything under the buttons. Wanted to show you what that looks like. Something really nice and easy. It looks great on mobile too, especially if you're on the run and need something really quickly. It's going to give you a lot of our internal forms. These are things that aren't contractual, like for a dot loop type situation, but something that might be more internal for us. I'm going to skip over most of these forms here just because we don't use them all that often, but they are there if we need them. And I'm going to go ahead and scroll on down, and everything in here is alphabetized and categorized. So here we have marketing. This here information on agent branding, buyer tools, social and digital. Again, this is all the stuff that's still under the different topics under those main buttons, but here it is in kind of one general clearinghouse for you to make it nice and easy to find. Things on lead generation, listing tools, more information, things on marketing or resource center, different forms, different things for relocation, referral, that kind of stuff. So that RWT library, again, just is a duplicate of all the other buttons, but just makes things nice and easy to find in one central location. Over here on the right-hand side, you'll see a lot of quick links. A lot of these are going to be single sign-ons. You'll hear us call them SSOs, so single sign-ons. This allows you to do a one-click and be able to log in with no username or password required. That is one of the benefits of using RWT Connect, is you do not have to remember usernames and passwords for a lot of our favorite products. So we have some links here. So emails, .loop, of course, BHHS resource, and some other things that are important for our business and email. As we continue to scroll down, we kind of have them categorized in here for your use as well. So these are marketing and productivity tools. These are things like submitting an order for marketing, logging into the Agent Central system, which was the marketing center for our Rose and Womble group. We also have things like Boost and Box Brownie. Go ahead.
We've got a couple of questions.
Okay.
First off, it says, why can't admin see the forms in case an agent asks for it or for them?
Which forms?
Clarissa.
The RWT
Clarissa,
libraries are open to everybody in the system.
Does that answer your question, Clarissa? In RWT Connect, yes, the libraries. Yep, the libraries are open for everyone. So admin should be able to get that.
Correct.
And then David has a question.
Sure.
David? Clarissa says that she tried to, but it says I cannot be found. It can't be found. I cannot be found. I'm not sure.
That might be an RWT Connect logon issue. So if drop a note to web support and we'll take a look at it after class.
All right, go ahead, Kristen.
Thanks.
I have my hand raised. I have a question.
Okay.
This is Wendy again. When I click on RWT library, it logs me out.
Yeah, me too.
You too?
Yeah.
Okay, so we've got 2 people in here that happens to. It
Okay.
just takes me out.
Yeah, I've told everybody that. They want to see it. Oh, it just did me too.
It just did.
Yeah.
Shauna too.
Okay. We'll take a look at that after class and get that fixed for everybody.
Okay.
Thanks.
Okay. So
right.
when I was calling for David, that was Wendy. So just in the, so I guess you guys have got a group. That's why I was calling on David. So just so everybody's aware
Okay.
in that room. Okay, thanks.
All right. All right, moving on. We have the marketing and productivity tools here. So again, these are going to be third-party vendors or internal tools that we have for marketing and productivity. So these are things to help your business or partners that we have on here as well. Most of these are going to be single sign-in, so everybody should have an account on here. If you don't, for whatever reason, again, web support at rwtown.com. And then as we scroll down, we do have our MLS and associations that we log into. These cannot be SSOs, so they are just links just there for your convenience. None of the MLSs offer us an SSO opportunity for our agents at this time. So just know that those links won't take you directly in, but they are there, again, just for your convenience. And these are the MLSs that we are currently working with across our system. As we continue to scroll down here, I want you to see that it's going to start to show us some other activities and things that are going on. These are all related to our business. So these are client activities. This is going to show us our most recent clients and what they happen to be doing on our website or what's going on with them. In this case, Julie Abrams has been recently active, and so has Chris Freddy. I have no idea who that is. And it's going to show us the different things that we have. Remember I said that potential, that nurturing dollar sign that was up there may be related to the saved searches that they have or any kind of transaction information you might have in their profile. And that you're going to start to see some of these numbers come in handy again as I start to get down into our lower sections here. But there's that potential. Neither one of these have a saved search assigned to them right now. We get into some of our business planning and goals. So all of this is based on your client dashboard and based on the clients that you have in the system. You can change this. So notice that little gear in the corner right here. If we click on that, it's going to allow us to enter our own financial goals. We can actually change this to 2024 already if you were working on your business planning for 2024. It allows us to put in the number of units that we want for buyers, sellers, and of course, referrals, any kind of dollar amount or GCI. So for those of you who need some business planning software or like to kind of keep this dashboard in front of you, we do have this available in the system. If for whatever reason you're not using our business planning tools and you'd like to clean up your dashboard just a little bit, do know that we do have this other button available on all of these sections that allows you to close it and open it. So that little plus sign or minus sign is going to allow you to open or close those different sections that we have on here. Again, we have that sales pipeline. So I have 56 contacts in this test account. That's our 56 suspects. And they start moving through the system based on how I categorize them. So if I move somebody to a qualified prospect or that I've made an appointment with somebody in the system and I've changed their role in their client dashboard, this will start to change to green, yellow, and red. Number of pendings and closings and things like that are all based on transactions that I enter into the system. I don't have any listings in our system currently, so if you do have listings, they're going to be in here. You can also access them in your navigation bar, which we're going to go to in just a second. And then in addition, you have, go ahead.
Karen has her hand up.
Okay.
Thank you. So I was trying to follow along with you in the business planning section, and I clicked on the gear and entered because my financial goal was still sitting at 0. When I click on the gear and I type in a new dollar sign and click on update planning goals, is that how I change that? Because when
Yes.
I do that, nothing updates. The financial goal stays 0.
It shouldn't, but let me take a look at that. I'm making notes. I'll take a look at it after class because we just did a business planning thing and it was working okay. So it may be something just related to your account. So let me go ahead and take a look at it after class.
Okay, thanks.
Uh-huh.
Kristen, mine's doing the same.
It's with the 0. Okay.
It won't change.
Okay.
Update. It won't update.
We will take a look. Certainly growing pains on some of the new dashboard stuff, but the nice thing is our vendor is super, super responsive. So if something is not working correctly, the nice thing is we have a direct line to them, and they usually give us updates super fast.
Just for reference, Kristen, the two folks that had that issue, can you tell us real quick what browser you're working on? Safari, Chrome, Edge?
I'm working on Chrome.
I'm on my Mac. I'm not sure.
Okay, so likely Safari. Okay, that helps. Thank you.
All right. And then down here at the very bottom on the main page, you're going to have a My Reports section. And this is where you can run reports on all sorts of different things that are going on in your system. So these are going to give you things like if you want an overall lead performance report, or things that have been submitted to you for forms and things like that off your website. If you'd actually like to take a look at what's going on with all of your different sellers and some of the other information that you have information on both your leads and listings on here. And I'll let you guys go ahead and pull up these reports as you see fit. But the one that I want to show you are these two bottom ones here. We get the most questions about these. These are your website reports and also your email open rate reports. So it actually gives you some email insights about what's going on in the system, what's being opened, what's being sent, how many things are being clicked on in the system. These are great reports for you to take a look at. If you haven't had an opportunity to do it yet, I would love for you guys to take a look at your website traffic reports and your site traffic, just so that you can see what's going on your website. Of course, I'm on my training account here, so these numbers are going to be a little bit low. We only use this when we do training. But I want you to also know that our reports in the system default to 7 days. So do take a look at that. If the numbers look a little low, especially as we get into your email section, for example, you'll want to go ahead and change that out. So if we want to go ahead and change that to 30 days, we can. And I can hit submit, and it is going to give me a report on our total visits, the client activity, number of forms, logins, new sign-ins, returning logins, listings viewed, and your listings viewed, and then total searches that are going on your website. And again, this is just my training account, so these numbers are going to be a little bit low. But if you have any questions about what defines all of those different categories for your website traffic, here they are down below. So it's going to go into what does it mean to have a website visit total or total activity? What does it mean for what's the difference between listing views and my listings viewed on your different reports? So you can go ahead and see this. This is a great thing. We actually look at this report when we do a lot of one-on-one meetings with agents, and a lot of people are pleasantly surprised that even though people may not be filling out forms, that there's lots of activity going on, and you've had plenty of visitors, even though somebody might not be signed in. And sometimes it's just a matter of sharing your website more and making sure that it's available on all of your direct marketing, email, things like that, to make sure that we're sharing out your website as much as possible to try to get traffic as much as possible on here as well. Let me go back to my dashboard here real quick. Oops. And the other one that I want you to see here is that email insights. For those of you who are sending out drip campaigns and emails from the system, you'll actually be able to see what those emails are, what your emails have sent, your open rate, your click rate. Obviously, again, this is a training account, so that click rate is going to be a little low. But my open rate, even on my training account, is 61% right now, which isn't bad at all. You can change your start and end date. Again, this defaults to that 7 days. So if you're missing something, just know that it probably lands outside of those dates. Probably one of the top questions we get is, oh my gosh, I sent out a monthly newsletter on the 4th and I don't see it. And it's usually because the start and end dates need to be changed up there at the top. You could also do it based on the to address if you're looking for a specific client, or the subject line. And then you can actually section out your different emails. If you want to know how your listing alerts are doing, for example, or you want to know how your direct marketing is doing, you can certainly segment those out. I love this feature. You can also view emails with future delivery on here. So if you have emails that are scheduled for a future delivery, maybe you have an upcoming holiday, or you have maybe an upcoming newsletter, something like that, you'll be able to actually see which ones are scheduled for the future on here as well. We have lots and lots of reporting options on here, and I hope you guys take advantage of some of them and take a look and see how all of your different systems are doing in there. So really quickly, I want to show you probably one of the biggest changes we've had to RWT Connect in the last couple of weeks has been the navigation menu. You've seen me kind of use it a little bit to go back and forth, but we haven't really touched on it. Up here on that left-hand side, you're going to see those 3 lines. Those 3 lines are called a hamburger menu. You'll see that in most of our training documents and things like that is a hamburger menu on the left-hand side. And if you click that, it's going to bring in our navigation menu. This navigation menu used to, of course, be all the way across the top of the screen, and now it is hidden behind that hamburger menu. It allows us a little bit more space. It also makes the experience between your desktop, laptop, tablet, and mobile identical on RWT Connect. It really helps make this a little bit more mobile friendly for everybody to have that drop-down menu. So if your menu looks a little bit different than this, if you only have 3 or 4 different categories, it means that you're not a site builder website subscriber. Some of the tools that are in here are required to be a website subscriber in order for them to work. And those would be things like the listing manager, some of the client manager, the marketing and email. They're all tied to the website. The whole point of all of that is to drive traffic to the website and to make sure that all of those different tools and things like that are integrated. If you do have a site builder website and you're a site builder subscriber, then your dashboard looks like this. A couple things I want to note on here. If you click on home at any time, you can get back to your dashboard. Some of you actually may have an additional dashboard in here called a team dashboard. If you're a member of a team and you are have a team website or you have team functions, you'll have a team dashboard on here as well. I'm going to come back to that Insights dashboard in just a little bit. Actually, that's going to be our next class anyway, but just know that we do have a new Insights dashboard for you guys to take a look at as well. Under here, we can actually manage our leads and our lead settings.
Kristen,
go ahead.
Karen has a question.
Sure.
My question is, what is the difference there between clients and leads in that drop-down menu?
Sure. So a good question. Leads are going to be leads that are coming in that still need to be managed in your system, or leads that have come in really recently that may have been accepted. Let me see if I have any under this particular test account here. Oh, I do. This actually works really well. So you should have in your settings a lead notification. So some people get them via text, some people get them via email, some people get them both. And those leads can be accepted via text or email. They can also be accepted directly in the system as well. So it's a 3-point system. If there are any leads that have come in that still need to be accepted, they're going to be in that top section there that says leads pending review and acceptance. We'll want to go ahead and check the box next to them and hit accept lead. And then on the next screen, it's going to ask us if we really want to accept those leads. And we're going to say yes again. It's a 2-step process. If we've accepted that lead in email or text, or once we've accepted it on here, it's going to show us that recent client web activity. In this case, for a training class in the last couple of weeks, I've actually been signed in as Julie Abrams, and it's just showing us that she was a lead and she has some recent activity in here as well. So that's just leads and just kind of recent activity. There's really going to be nothing else in that system. That's a good segue over here. Go ahead.
When I click on the leads, it drops down to 2 options. And when I go into settings, I don't really quite know what to make of that screen.
So the settings are giving us lots of different options in here. So we don't use the lead forwarding to another account very often. We see this if you're on a team and you actually need to forward leads up to like the team account. We just recently used this for an agent who was on vacation for 3 weeks and they needed to forward their leads to another agent who was covering for them. So anything that came into their system, they went ahead and chose another agent from the list and they were able to forward the leads for that short time period to that other person and had us remove it when they got back. The client registration options, this is just the registration options for your website and kind of how we collect some information. So on your website, you have the ability to request information based on the number of listing detail pages somebody can view before they have to register. And that registration can be either a soft or a hard registration. So a soft registration says, hey, you've looked at a bunch of different properties. Do you want to give us your information and set up a saved search? No? Okay, cool. A hard registration says, you're not looking at anything more on my website until you give me some information. Truly the difference between the two. We also have the opportunity to have unlimited, so they don't need to register. They're not going to give that little soft prompt on here either. And that's what these settings are here for. So unlimited literally means that they're never going to see a soft prompt. I highly recommend you at least use a soft prompt somewhere. We have maximum where the consumers have to register to see listing detail pages. I have very few agents on this, mostly because we know research says that they'll go somewhere else. But we do have some agents who subscribe to that kind of business philosophy of wanting that gatekeep that information on their website. We have what we call mid-level, which is what everybody's defaulted to. So there's that hard registration or soft registration. And then we allow either the consumers to opt out of those registrations, or we can even prompt the consumer to register the first time they've seen something. And again, it can be either soft or hard. And then we also have this opportunity to see limited information on here as well. And then we're just asking, these are the bottom options here, what they are required for registration. Again, I just want to caution people on here that the more you lock down your website, the higher the chances are that people will leave. We have found just over the years, we've been on this particular system since I think 2014 now. And statistically, we've shown that this is kind of the sweet spot with that soft registration after 4 and allowing them to log in with some of their social media accounts, but not requiring anything more than an email address if they do want to register, because that's what we need to be able to send them things. Does that answer your question?
It does. Thank you.
No problem. All right, let's take a look at that listing. Again, I don't have that listing. I don't have listings in this listing manager, but we've done plenty of classes on this. This is actually going to show all of our active listings and what we can do with those active listings, also our pending listings, sold listings. And we don't use the demo or manual listings in our system because all of our listings are in the MLS. So we don't use that function at all in our business here. We do keep the sold listings behind just kind of a button. This really helps just to kind of speed up this page a little bit. If you do need to get to your sold listings or any links related to your sold listings, or you kind of want to list, you can certainly click that show sold listings and it'll go ahead and bring that up. But we do just hide that behind a button just for the sake of load time on this particular page, since we don't use it very often. Under the client manager, you're going to be able to have your contact list. This is where you would actually manage all of your different contacts. Your groups are where you can create groups for those contacts to go in. And those groups can be unlimited. So they can be anything from your holiday card list to somebody you met at an open house to your neighborhood, whatever, however you segment your people or need them segmented, you can create groups for those. You can set up the different notifications that you would like to receive based on those clients. So depending on the number of people you're working in your CRM, so your client relationship manager is what this is a CRM. We can have different notifications for different things. Your notification settings can say, I want to know every single time somebody logs into my website. I want to know every single time somebody saves a favorite. Send me an email. I want to know every single time somebody changes their save search. And you can have different notifications set up for people who are existing in your database versus people who are brand new to your website that just log in for the very first time. So I highly encourage you to kind of go into your notifications and kind of take a look. I like to leave them on the default. We've really kind of chosen those, just again, that sweet spot between getting plenty of information but not overwhelming your inbox. And then you also have some reminders. Our system does have what we call interactions and reminders. It's a fairly big topic. I'm not going to go into it today, but it allows you to get reminders on different things that need to go on with those contacts. So just a reminder, hey, I need to call this person in 7 days, or I need to, follow up on something in a particular number of days. Our marketing tab includes our action plans, otherwise known as drip campaigns, also allows us to build system flyers or even a buyer's tour or create those neighborhood report landing pages on our website. Remember, we call these action plans, not drip campaigns, because action plans can contain actions in them as well. So in addition to maybe sending out a bunch of emails, it may also include an action for you, a reminder that we just talked about that says, hey, this person's going to get like a birthday card or a birthday email tomorrow. Don't forget to give them a call. So that might be a reminder or a task for you. Under our email tab here, we can send new or email marketing. So again, this goes into that drip system that we have available under marketing. These are just individual cards or individual emails that go out. So if you want to send a one-off on something, maybe a quick open house, or you want to send an email maybe on a holiday that you don't have set up on a drip campaign, for example, you can certainly create kind of a one-off email or e-card out of the system. This calendar portion is going to change probably by the time I do my next class. Right now, we have just a personal calendar in here. We have some things in the works for some other calendaring and some syncing options that are going to be available in here. So I'm going to skip this section today, but do know, keep an eye out for any new training that we have that specifically addresses the calendaring system. We'll be sending that out over the next couple of months. Under your Site Builder tab, you have the ability to edit your website. These are all things website under here. So all the different layouts that you can choose from. Your site editor is how you edit your homepage. Interior pages or any pages on your website that are not your homepage or your main page. And that can be anything from lead forms to neighborhood reports or landing pages, SEO pages, your bio page, things like that. Your image library contains images from our vendor, from our company, and then also any images that you might load into the system that you might want to use on your own website. This is how we also create searches. So searches can be created for clients. So those client notifications that are available. They can also be created for things like the neighborhood reports or neighborhood landing pages. We don't use the widgets. I'm not going to go into those today, but if you do have a need for a widget for whatever reason from your website, specifically from another vendor or something like that, just email us at websupport@rwtown.com and we can certainly walk you through those. The system does have a kind of a basic blog built into it. It is not a WordPress blog built into the system. It does have a blog. We tend to build those pages as interior pages instead, just because of the flexibility. Just know that it's there. The domain manager is actually how we manage the domain and how we make that connection for you to make sure that your domain goes to the right website on our system. And for any of you who might have vanity email domains, so yourname@yourdomain.com, we also have some domain settings in here as well. Be very, 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 very careful in this domain setting. One wrong move in here could change how your website functions and how your domain functions and how your email functions in some cases, for those of you who have vanity domain sections. Nice easy button there to be able to view your website too. So if you're in the system and you're making some changes and you just need to view your live website, you can certainly do that. Our resources tab is the exact same thing as the RWT Connect library. So it goes into all of the different sections and all of our different buttons that I showed you when we started. So there's that working with buyers, working with sellers, your quick links, coaching and training, things like that, all of our different resources. So it's just available in a different section. It happens to be in this menu as well. I do want you to note that it does have its own search bar as well. So if you are looking for something in particular, so if we had, for example, you saw that flyer on the client dashboard, and you were looking for that flyer to be able to give to a buyer client you were meeting, you could certainly put client dashboard in here and it would bring up the resource on that client dashboard for you. So just note that it does have its own search bar right up here at the top. And last but certainly not least, the training section contains training materials and guides, and these are from our vendor. So we use the coaching and training section of our library to post our own things. So things like these Blitz classes and things like that are in that coaching and training library. This training library up here at the top is from our vendor specifically. And if you click on training materials, it's going to bring you to all the feature specific guides in this entire system here. So for example, one of the things we talked about today was email insights. If you want to learn more about how email insights work, what all the different things mean, how you can do searches, what all those different reports mean, you can certainly click on one of these documents and it's going to bring you to the entire guide for that. And just know that these guides also have links in them that click off to other guides as well. So this is going to show you how to get there. And it's going to show you what all the different things mean. This just happens to be branded to our vendor here, which is Reliance Network, who hosts all of this for us. So it's going to show you all the different things on here. So we have guides for just about everything in the system. So for those of you who are looking at maybe business planning and sales pipeline for next year, there's a guide on that. Those who need more information, maybe about setting up a market watch, for example, there's a guide on that as well. Anytime you see sway, that means it's a guide. It's an actual how-to kind of guide. What we also have in here are things like videos. So anytime you see Vimeo, these are videos from our vendor that go into specific things. So these are trainings that they've given on different things. So I know some of you are going to have questions about interactions and reminders. If you want to learn more about that, you can certainly take a look at the video training on interactions and reminders and learn how to set those up for yourself. And again, these are all training different things. How to set up your Facebook Messenger on your website, how to choose a new layout, how to create an SEO page, all sorts of different things on here. So anytime you see Vimeo, again, that's a video. And anytime you see Sway, those are going to be documents. So we have lots and lots and lots of training in here. So again, these are all from our vendor. And then in addition to this, you also have the coaching and training button available on your dashboard. Last but not least here, let's go to that new dashboard that we have, which is the Insights dashboard. This is going to be the next class we're going to talk about, so I'm not going to go into it in too much detail, but just know that this is our new productivity dashboard. And this is going to go into everything that's happening as far as your website and leads are concerned, any interactions, reminders, tasks that you might have. It's really kind of a quick snapshot of everything that's going on in your CRM. Again, we have an upcoming class on this, but just know that our new Insights dashboard is here and it's a great place for you to work day to day, just to make sure that you're keeping in touch with everybody, everything is filled out correctly, that you're doing everything that you can for your different listings and things like that. So it's going to give you suggestions, it's going to give you different tasks, it's going to give you different reminders on different things as well. Did anybody have any questions on RWT Connect? On our new kind of dashboard or navigation or what's available on here? I'm happy to take any questions.
Kristen, there's a question about getting rental listings listed as rented under sold listings. Is there an option for that?
It's an option in our MLS, so it should be an option for us. I will double check with our vendor.
Great, thank you.
You're welcome.
Any other questions for Kristen?
Hi,
Karen,
Kristen,
go
it's
ahead.
Lisa. So the things that we had questions on for the goal setting, will you just email us the results of checking into that?
Yes.
Thanks.
No. And
All right.
Tim, I can get my attendance from Haley after this, just so we can send out an email on it.
Sure.
Thanks.
And Karen.
In the Insights dashboard, if it's indicating that you should start an action plan, how do you even, oh, I see. Just click on start an action plan and see what happens?
Yep. Or in 15 minutes, I'm going to show you exactly how to do it.
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome.
All right. Any other questions for Kristen? All right. Thank you all for being here for session 2 of 3. Number 3 is coming up at 12 o'clock, Insights, for pretty much exactly what you was talking about in the last 3 or 4 minutes. So come on back, check it out in 15 minutes. Thanks, everybody.
Thanks, Tim.